And it's not really a surprise that the leftists control the politics right now, and they're controlling the culture, and they're like it's like politics is downstream of culture, and right now the leftists control all of our cultural institutions. Like whatever the culture dictates, politics pursues. The culture is dictating leftism, progressivism, and that's what politics are pushing. And that's because it flows downriver, and it's insane. Like leftists control everything. They control the universities, higher educational systems. They control the lower educational systems if you're not homeschooling or in a nice private school. Uh, they like a friend of mine that's a teacher was they tried to like in professional development tell him, a science teacher, a physics teacher and stuff, that there is no racial component, a genetic component to race. Now like uh, race is an important conversation to be had in a context where we're having racial issues in our country right now. But there is genetic components to race. There's genetic components to eye color, skin color, hair color. Like that is basic science. Like this shit's getting so bad. Like the leftism is controlling culture in schools and stuff so bad that they're trying to remove science from the actual educational system. Like culture is downstream, and politics is downstream from culture, and leftists control everything. They control the media institutions, they control the schools, they control every institution. Even the army was put in an office of intersectionality. In order to beat this, we're going to have to go back. We have to take a look because we can't use their same violent tactics against them. Like, is that stuff at the Capitol? We can't do shit like that because we don't have the backing that they have. We don't have the support. Like, they're not going to get arrested. They're going to have media support and they're going to be let out and gone. We have to be smarter than they are. Like, media and big tech are supporting them. They have the infrastructure to support them. We do not. We need to build that cultural infrastructure. That's where we need to like what happens when you go to a watering hole and the water is bad or whatnot, it's been contaminated, it's something that's been dumped in it, you have to go upstream to get your water. That's how it happens. We have to go upstream and build our own institutions. We have to like learn what we're doing. We can't use the same tactics. Yeah, there might be fighting. Yeah, there might be needs to defend yourself and such. Like, I'm not going to say there's no need for violence or violence is never the answer when I quite clearly know that sometimes violence is, like, in defense. It's the only thing you can do. But this is a fifth generational war, too. This is an informational war, too. We have to, and that's fought with culture. That's fought by winning hearts and minds. We have to factor that into our thinking. And that starts by joining the alt tech revolution. Join Minds, join BitChute, join Rumble, host content on them exclusively and or more like use the other alt tech sites more. Like you can put stuff on YouTube as an archive, but release them early on BitChute first. Release it early on Rumble first. Release exclusive content on these platforms and help facilitate that. That's the only way we're going to unfuck this. That's the only way. We have to start recognizing that our enemy is a lot more powerful than we give them credit for. Um, that they control 90% of our infrastructure. Like the school, they literally got schools pumping out brainwashed kids. And we got to build our own culture. We really do. We got to build our own culture. And there's different ways to do that. This right here, this podcast, me talking to you on this podcast is a way to build culture. I'm sharing the culture of freedom speech. I'm talking about the importance. I'm sharing like the fact that we lack culture. Homeschool your kids. Control your educate. Take back control of education. These are things that you could do. There's other things you could do to make culture, and in the next segment we're going to get into a major one. But you can build infrastructure to help facilitate people that are making culture. Parler got banned. You can build that infrastructure to facilitate people like Parler so they can't get banned. We have to start hunkering down and settling in for the long haul. The last revolution took 30 years to fight, so if this does become a civil war or a revolution of sorts or whatever, it's not going to be over overnight. And we have to build the infrastructure to hunker down for the long haul. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. At the end of this war, the person with the most supported culture is going to be the winner. That's just how it is. It's human nature. I mean, that is a fact. And right now, we're downstream from politics, and politics is downstream from culture, and the leftists are up where culture is, controlling it all. They got like a dam and just beyond culture, and they're controlling where the stream of flow, the flow of the water. If you get what I'm saying, it, and it's on it obvious. Like Trump supporters, and it was a bipartisan riot, but Trump supporters do one violent thing in the Capitol, and it's insurrectionists. But all year the left, like all of last year, the lefts were like, it's a mostly peaceful riot, it's mostly peaceful, it's mostly peaceful protest, it's mostly peaceful protest, as cities literally burned. You can't use the same tactics. Like you can't go and protest. That's not going to work. It's your right. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but it's not going to work. You have to be smarter. You have to go upstream, and we'll get into that more examples of how you can do that later. But we have to cut them off. We have to go meet them on their turf, and we have to go win cultural battles and build culture again, because we don't have a unified culture. The conservatives, libertarians, there's no unifying culture. Libertarians hate other libertarians. Conservatives do their own thing. There's no unifying. Like we don't have the same cultural support the leftist does, and if we can't build that same cultural support, we're not going to stop big tech. We're not going to stop the Great Reset. We're not going to stop any of this fuckery. I'm just saying.